What is up, beautiful stranger friends? Today is going to be a beauty babble video and we got a lot to catch up on. I'm going to do a pretty basic look. I am focusing on covering up my skin as usual and doing a simple but really kind of just flattering eye, I guess is the best way to put it. It's super simple. I really like the look. I've been doing it a lot lately. So let's jump in. Before I start with anything, I am putting on lip chap, lip balm, whatever you want to call it, because oh my god, my lips have been killing me. I'm going to start off by priming my skin. This is the Maybelline Master Prime Primer Base. It's for blurring and smoothing, so let's see if it does just that. Probably already noticed by now, I chopped my hair back again. When I was driving back from Salmon Arm with Glenn, I was in the car. We were on the Coca-Cola, and it was really, really hot, and I couldn't stand it. I was sweaty, I was hot, it was really, really gross, and I just said then and there, like, Glenn, I'm booking an appointment, I'm chopping my hair. For those of you who know, I spoke about it in TMI Tuesday a while ago. I said that I was growing my hair because I wanted to have long hair when we get married. We're not engaged, but, you know, we've been together for 7 years. It's probably gonna happen sometime soon, right? I just got over it. I don't care, I need my hair short again. I couldn't deal with it, so short hair is back. The color is, I've done 2 rounds of bleach. It definitely still has a lot of gold, and especially through here and through the back, which I'm not super stoked about, but I do want them to go slowly so that I do maintain the integrity of my hair. So I do understand that that sometimes has to happen. So that's what we're working with for now. Cover up some of this red before we jump into using some foundation. I even remembered to put my wipes on the table this time. I feel rather impressed with myself. I usually get to the point in the tutorial where I dump my foundation all over my hand and I have extra, and then I'm like, what do I do? And I have to run. Or like when you have to wet your beauty blender or get your beauty blender. Shit, I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, hold on, I'll be back. Even better, I didn't get my beauty blender. I got my new sponge. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a silicone sponge. I love it. I thought I was gonna hate it. I thought it was really gimmicky and stupid, and I put it off for ages buying one. Then I saw an ad on Facebook and I was like, fine, okay, if it's really cheap. They're great. Like, it actually works. I hate the noise that it makes. It makes like a really gross noise when you're like patting it on your face, but it's really, really cool. The only thing that I don't love about this one is that there is like, I don't know, some type of a little flappy edge on the side. I wish that they trimmed it closer to the actual sponge or the actual thing. You know what I mean? But I'm going to use that with some L'Oreal True Match in the color N3. I used to use this all the time, and I recently bought some when I was down in the States, and I fell in love with it again. It's a nice little foundation. Okay, wait a second before I dump the whole bottle out. You have to use like way less because this sponge doesn't soak anything up. You can get away with using less product, and I'm always like, haha, dump some more. It sounds like it's too inappropriate. So I kind of do like an overall spread on like one area of my face. So I usually do like my cheek up to my under eye, down the side, and then I go back and blend it in further. Oh, I hate the noise. Have any of you guys tried these though? These are very much so, like you put it on, you start using it, and you're kind of like, oh my god, is this actually going to sink in? It feels like it takes a little bit longer to blend than using a traditional sponge or beauty blender. But once it does, it just works so well. I really like it. This is it. It's not very happy though. I don't know how well it's going to cover today. It's just one of those ones that's just never ending. It keeps reproducing, and I'm like, oh my god, how much freaking salicylic acid do I need to put on you to kill you? It's just not stopping. As I said in my go-to like acne routine or acne cover-up video or whatever I titled it, I haven't been trying to get like a absolute perfect base. I know I have skin, I have texture, I have redness. It just is what it is. I do my best to make sure that that isn't the main focal point on my face, but I'm not going to cake it on and cake it on and cake it on just to try and cover it up, because in all honesty, it doesn't really look good on my skin. I'd rather just have it a little bit more natural, and yes, I do have imperfections, but it is what it is. So, I am going to do some under eye work, I do believe. I have been using my Touche Eclat by YSL. I've said this before, I feel so fancy using this. all the characters in the books that I read as a kid used to use this and have it like in their airplane bag. They took out their touche clé and it was 8 hours of sleep in an instant. Like it was, it's just my childhood. Anyway, I am going to use the sponge again to blend that in. And I'm going to follow that up with a teensy little bit of concealer. I'm using, where are you? Here you are. The, God, this is so old. The Maybelline Super Stay Better Skin. Mine is like super beat up. I've had it for a while. I probably should have tossed it a while ago, but I'm going to do some dots or some stripes, apparently. I went to do that the other day with a Estee Lauder product, and I realized that the doe foot applicator had fallen off, and so like I poked myself full blown underneath my eye. It hurt really badly. I've never had that happen before, having the little doe foot thing fall off though. And again, patting that in. Oh my gosh, when I'm filming, every single time the first place that I start to like sweat because of these lights is on my upper lip, and it always screws up my foundation. It's so annoying. Had a little bit of a second to fix this. And then I'm going to set it all with a newer product that I received when I was in the States. It's the Urban Decay Naked Light. It's a pressed powder. Oh no, mine broke on the way home and now it's just further broke into 3 pieces, but that's okay. I'm going to take that and just press that underneath my eyes, around sides of my nose, and on top of my nose, on top of my stubborn zit, and hope to God that it doesn't fuck it up. You know the feeling. And I'm going to set the T-zone with that too, ever so lightly, only just a little bit, and probably my chin. I'm going to lightly dust a little bit of the Becca Soft Light Blurring Powder with a larger MAC brush that was sent to me. It's really, really cool. It's the number 140S, 140S, I don't know. But it looks like this. It is really, really nice. I'm going to dust a tiny bit of that powder all over my face. And now that that's on, I feel like the weight has been lifted off my shoulders. My face is finally an even canvas, and we can have a proper conversation. Hi. So, oh my gosh, where do I even start? So this week I am headed back to the Okanagan with Katie and Justin and Glenn, and it's actually going to be Katie's graduation, and I'm so excited for her. I'm just so proud of her, and we get to go and watch her ceremony, and it's going to be amazing. So that's what we're doing this week. I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit and the same brush that I was using, and I'm going to pick up a mixture of these two and do a little bit of a contour. But yeah, I'm so excited. The weather's supposed to be great. I haven't been up in the Okanagan when Katie's been in the Okanagan, God, in years. It seriously has been years. We're planning on going on a couple hikes. I'm so excited. It's going to be a blast. We're almost there for a whole week. It's going to be great. I don't know if I have actually told you guys, but it's also been really, really nice having the time to go back to the Okanagan and spend time with my parents, because my parents are building their dream home, and I'm so excited for them. It is such a huge adventure. They've wanted this their whole lives, and I cannot be more excited for them. But the house that they're moving out of is the house that I grew up in my entire life. So it's a really weird feeling to think that this is kind of like the last few times that this will be me sleeping in my house, even though, you know, I moved out at 18, but it's still always been my home, you know? So it's been kind of almost emotional going through a bunch of older things and like, I don't know, just childhood stuff, kind of packing up our stuff and trying to figure out, okay, what do we want to keep, what do we not want to keep? As many of you know, if you've moved, when you move, you realize you own a lot of stuff, and lots of that stuff isn't necessarily things that you currently need, even though it might be nice to have. It's just kind of pack ready to keep. So we've been going through a ton of different stuff, but like, it's just weird. I don't know, it's a very weird feeling. Like, my hands are in the concrete on every single sidewalk there, you know? So it's gonna be so weird thinking that another family is going to live there. Who knows? But yeah, it's been a really weird kind of transition period for my family. So yeah, I'm excited to go home and spend some quality time. I'm taking the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion and applying some of that on my lids. So yeah, it'll be great going home. I'm really excited. I'm also getting a tattoo done this week. I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm finally filling my gap right here. It's been a long time coming. I was originally going to, when I booked this months and months ago, I was originally going to get an arm piece, but the design just wasn't 100% of kind of what feeling I was going for, so we decided to hold off on that piece and to do the tinier piece. I'm really excited. Like I said, I've kind of felt like my arm's been a little bit gappy since I got my larger one last summer, but I'm pretty stoked to get it. It's the same guy who's done my larger piece in my sunflower as well. Since my eyeballs are now primed, I'm going to pick up the NYX Wonderlust London palette. I don't think I've ever used this on camera, but I really, really like it. It looks like this. The only thing that I don't like about this is like who actually stores their lipstick in this. I know we talked about this with the cheek braid palette with Benefit. Like, you just don't store your tools, your things, and your palette, so it's just a waste of space. Like, I would so love if this was a smaller palette and it was easier to bring around places, but whatevs, you know? I'm going to take the lighter color and mix it a tiny bit with that and just go over top of my lid space just to make sure that everything is kind of set to go for the color so nothing clings. I'm picking up some of the Urban Decay Naked Shadow just onto a really fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to use this as my crease color. I feel like this is just a tiny bit lighter than any of the colors in the palette. I mean, like a lighter brown. So what I'll do is use this to kind of lay down my tracks, and then we'll move into the palette again. I'm applying this really, really nice and blown out. I'm just trying to keep the lid space rather light though. So kind of crease and upwards, and then with any extra I'm just kind of dusting it on the back of my hand and then just going over and blending it out even more. Alright, going back into this palette, I'm going to do this little bottom corner guy right here. It's kind of like, it looks more green on camera actually. It's really like a cool tone gray, really. Tiny bit of brown mixed in maybe. Onto a tiny little blending brush, I'm going to pick that color up. I'm going to apply that in the crease on the outer corner and kind of just wiggle the brush back and forth. And if it comes down onto the lid a tiny little bit, that's totally fine, but I am concentrating it more in the crease. I'm trying to think of anything else that's kind of been happening or going on. I'm gonna definitely do a like proper sit-down video, kind of catching you guys up on my food sensitivities and my journey with that. Kind of a quick catch-up with that is I've been doing more testing and nothing's really shown up, which has been incredibly frustrating. As many of you who are dealing with a similar thing know, it is basically all trial and error, and for someone that really likes having a clear-cut, like this is why this is happening and this is how you fix it type answer, it's really hard. And I think that more than anything, just mentally plays on you. And I know a lot of you understand that, because in the video that I originally did on it, I genuinely couldn't believe how many other people are dealing with this too. Nobody talks about it, but it's a really common thing. So I was very grateful that a lot of you took the time to comment and tell me about your stories, and I read every single one of them. It was really incredible that everyone kind of rallied in that way. So I do want to do some update videos on that once I kind of have something to update. I have my first meeting with my dietitian on Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday or Thursday, something like that. But I'm really excited to move forward with her and kind of see if that is going to give me a little bit more relief. But yeah, the digestive enzymes that I switched to have definitely helped. But yeah, it's a bitch. It really truly is. And like I said, it sucks physically. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not fun at all physically. But I think mentally is where it really takes the toll. And when you already have a harder time being in a positive mood sometimes, like myself, I really have to push through it. And some days are, you know, okay, and some days are really not okay. So it's definitely been a learning curve, that's for sure. A lot of you guys always say, oh, you're such a positive person and this and that. Yes, I am. I totally try to be, but that's the point. I try to be. And I think that that's truly what a lot of positivity is it's making a conscious effort to choose that line of thought and to practice that, because it does become easier, but it's not something that just automatically comes to some people, and to most people, to be totally honest. I haven't really met anybody that just is right out the gate positive 24/7 all the time. It is something that you have to practice. So I'm practicing. So I'm just continually dipping. I was gonna only do like a couple dips into this color, but I'm kind of continuously dipping and blending, going between the two brushes. I'm using the tinier, more dense brush to place the color, and then the larger, fluffier brush to then blend it out. I just want everything to be quite seamless, really nice and blendy, but still a little bit more bold in the areas where I want it to be bold. Ugh. Oh, what I got in my eye. Ugh. See ya. And onto the same brush that I was using previously. And I'm going to use that more so in my outer V and underneath my eyes. So I'm going to be quite careful with placement so that it doesn't get all over the place. But I'm going to put that kind of more on the outer third of my eye. I don't want to drag, I don't want to drag it in past kind of the center of my eye. I feel like it'll make it look way too sleepy. What else is new? I'm determined to start playing bass, like bass guitar. Long story short, I want to be Cassandra, like Cassandra as in Wayne's World Cassandra. If you know who she is, you'll totally understand. She's a babe, but I ideally would love to be a babe and bass player, and I think that that'd be so cool. So anyway, I have Glenn's bass. Actually, it's his best friend Mitchell's bass, but we have it at the house. So I've been practicing with that. I'm horrible. I can totally play like, Glenn, what's the song I can play on bass? Oh, I can play Smoke on the Water. It is like the most basic of all basic things. But I'm really proud about that because I'm not really an instrumental person. Man, wouldn't that be so cool to play carousel though? Like, oh, I'd be pretty cool if I could play that. I'm not gonna lie. Can any of you play that? I'd be extremely impressed. It's really not that hard, but it sounds freaking awesome. Now onto the blending brush that I had the lighter colors on originally. I'm going to pick up the kind of peachy lighter color right up here. Take a bit of that on my brush and place that in my lid space. Kind of just want like a skin color that kind of mattifies a tiny little bit, and drag that outwards. I'm also going to take a mixture of that kind of peachy color and the lighter color again, and I'm going to use that as my brow highlight. Alright, now that that's placed, I'm going back into my larger fluffy blending brush. I'm just making sure everything's blended. I think that's going to be it for now for my eyes. I'm going to move on to doing my brows. Finally got them threaded. I remember telling you guys in one of my last videos that it's been a while. I'm going to use the Maybelline Duo. What's it called? The Brow Duo? I don't know. Looks like this. It's adorable. I use it lots. And use it throughout the front of my brows, and then I'm going to use a pencil through the back. Ooh, my brows are dark today. Got some bold ones. I'm going to brush it out just a tiny little bit. I like that look though. I don't know if it's just me, but I like it when people have bold brows and like light hair. I'm going to set those in place using the Maybelline Brow Drama Sculpting Brow Mascara. I'm still weirded out that this has a little rounded tip. Like, it's not bad, it's just different. Alright, I'm going to curl my lashes and put on a coat of mascara. I'm using the Jordana Best Lash Extreme, one of my go-to favorites. I'm going to do this and then come back because this is just so basic. Alright, mascara's on, and I checked on some Peekaboo half lashes from Socialize. These have been in my drawer and used at least 8 times. They're getting a little ragged, but that's okay. I wanted to just use them and then throw them and then get a new pair. I'm going to move on to doing some highlight, and I'm using the Jouer Skinny Dip highlight. This is so beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen this swatched before, but it's stunning. So I'm going to use my XO Beauty Fan brush and apply that to the tops of my cheeks. I also, speaking of blush, need to apply some blush. Apply that kind of as my highlight on my eye too. One thing at a time though, hold on. Look at that, it's so pretty, so pretty. Okay, collarbones, top of the tits, you know the drill. Also, if you guys like my necklace, you can buy it on Stilnest, I believe it is. It was a collaboration between Sharon and Karima. I love their videos. If you don't already watch them, you should watch them. I'll link them both individually down below. But they did a combined collaboration with this jewelry line, and they did really, really cool stuff. It's kind of like Art Deco-y inspired, but I really love it. I think it's beautiful. A little bit on the tops of my shoulders, because why the hell not? Okay, for blush, I am using this beautiful Milani powdered blush. Why have I not seen these before? I absolutely love it. I think that it is beautiful. Like, for the sake of this being a drugstore product, to have it nicely pressed like a beautiful rose. Oh, that doesn't really smell that good. It kind of smells chemically. But the color, oh, just wait. It's beautiful. It's like the perfect little like flush. It's kind of like, you know how Luminoso is like really, really pretty? This is kind of the same deal. Probably should have applied this before I applied the highlight, but that's all right. I'm just gonna have very glowy cheeks today. I'm just gonna use the MAC Smolder pencil just to fill in my upper waterline. And for my bottom waterline, I'm using the Benefit Eye Bright pencil. There. Cool. Now for lips. I am going to use a combination of the NYX Lingerie, which is really, really beautiful. I really like these. And this is a new product to me. I bought it the other day at a Rexall. It is the Marcel Luxe Gloss. I believe Marcel is a Canadian brand, but this looked too beautiful of a color to not try, and it is stunning on, so I'm really glad I got it super cheap too. Okay. I don't like the applicator of these, the NYX Lingerie though. That's the only thing. I like the formula, I like everything else, I like the colors. I don't like the application. Since my lips have been so chapped lately, I've been opting a lot more for like forgiving lipsticks and or glosses rather than things that cling to my dead dry lips. Alright, and here is that Marcel gloss on top. Oh, that color works perfectly with this. Aha! Alright, I am going to set everything in place. I am using the Glam Glow Glow Setter makeup setting spray. I love how this sprays. I like the results. The smell of this is the worst chemical like in the entire world. I hate it. I probably will never repurchase just because of that. If you don't mind smell, fly at it. But oh my god, there's something about this. Like, I usually spray, hold my breath, and leave the room. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like a really, really chemically smell that just gets like in your nose and in the back of your throat, and ugh, not my thing. But like I said, I love the way that it works, and I love the way that it sprays, so it's such a bummer. Okay. And that is the finished makeup look. I hope that you guys like it. Only took me forever. Isn't it weird? I feel like it's such a simple look and you could easily do it in like 10-15 minutes. But when you're talking, it just takes forever. Don't forget to check out my info box because I link every single one of these products. Like, I find them on the internet and I make a link and I write it all out and it takes me like 30 minutes. So if you ever need anything, it's always in the info box. I usually leave a little message for you guys down there, so I'd appreciate it if you click it and check it out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It helps share my videos to new people. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in a new one very soon. Bye!